From IsReal News, this is the midday briefing for Thursday, February 19th. U.S. President Donald Trump convened a meeting with senior advisors to review negotiations with Iran and said the coming days will determine whether a deal is possible. Speaking at an event in Washington marking the launch of a U.S.-backed Board of Peace for Gaza, Trump said talks with Tehran have been good, but stressed the need for what he called a meaningful agreement preventing Iran from obtaining nuclear weapons. He said the situation could become clearer within about 10 days. This comes as diplomatic engagement continues alongside U.S. military positioning in the region. At the same event, organizers of the Board of Peace said 2,000 Palestinians had registered to join a proposed civilian police force in Gaza, with training expected to take place in Egypt. Officials outlined plans for a larger international stabilization force and economic reconstruction framework, subject to Hamas disarmament. A report in The Guardian said the U.S. administration is preparing plans for a large military base in southern Gaza to support a multinational force, though details have not been formally confirmed. The development takes place amid parallel discussions about post-war governance and security arrangements in the enclave. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, speaking at an Israeli military officer's graduation ceremony, warned that if Iran attacks Israel, it would face what he described as an unprecedented response. He said Israel is prepared to defend itself against any threat and is coordinating closely with the United States. Netanyahu also reiterated that Hamas must be disarmed and that Gaza will not be rebuilt without demilitarization. His remarks come as tensions with Iran remain high and ceasefire dynamics in Gaza continue to evolve. Israel's military chief of staff, Lieutenant General Eyal Zamir, also addressed the ceremony, saying the army remains vigilant and ready to respond to operational changes. He emphasized unity across Israeli society and outlined a new multi-year military plan aimed at strengthening coordination across active duty and reserve forces. The comments occur as Israel reassesses force posture following the October 7th attack and ongoing regional challenges. Meanwhile, an Israeli military assessment reported by Reuters says Hamas is working to consolidate control in Gaza by placing loyalists in government roles and reasserting authority in areas vacated under the October ceasefire. The report indicates Hamas continues to collect taxes and pay salaries while resisting disarmament. Israeli officials dismissed any future governing role for the group, while Hamas says it is willing to transfer administration to a U.S.-backed technocratic committee if permitted to enter Gaza. This takes place amid debate over the feasibility of post-war governance models. In other developments, Israeli researchers at Rambam Healthcare Campus in Haifa announced findings from a study on deep brain stimulation as a potential treatment approach for schizophrenia. The peer-reviewed research, published in Nature Communications and reported by Times of Israel, outlines a method aimed at improving brain circuits related to movement, learning, and decision-making. Researchers say the approach may expand options for patients who do not respond to existing treatments. The announcement comes as global health authorities estimate that roughly 21 million people worldwide live with schizophrenia, including tens of thousands in Israel. That's the midday briefing from IsReal News.
Israel is moving to heightened readiness as U.S. military posture across the Middle East expands, and timelines for a possible strike on Iran appear to be shortening. Washington says diplomacy remains the preferred path, but military options are actively being prepared. Iranian officials warn the nuclear gap with the United States may no longer be bridgeable. Stay with IsReal News for updates.